Recently, a once good friend of mine tried to groom my sister. You heard that right? Never thought that would fit into a sentence, but here we are. Not only was he committing an actual crime, but he was a scumbag about it. Persuading my sister to lie, playing the victimization card, saying that anyone in his position, if they fall in love, they can't help themselves. He was also constantly reminding me how he inherently did nothing wrong, how breaking multiple promises would be because he thought he would, but he didn't know he couldn't. Whatever the hell that means. He's victimizing himself, saying that I wouldn't have any friends if I choose to just drop people like that and not accepting them for who they are. He wanted to villainize me for prioritizing my own welfare. And damn, now that I think about it, he is a true monster. But that incredibly messy situation taught me something about myself. I lied in the moment and I said that he was a victim too. I lied to myself that I didn't hate him, that hating him would drag my life down and be unjustified for him. Everyone around me was telling me that he was a scumbag, but my brain and my heart decided not to blame him, and I decided to take full responsibility because morally that would be wrong to hate people. Oh my god. And I guess intrinsically and subconsciously I felt like if I did the wrong things morally, I'll be rejected by the environment around me, and love could be taken away from me, from the people around me, and more people could turn against me because I could be morally wrong. And I was really afraid of that, even though I always promote acting on your own ideals. I made this mistake. These are all habitual thoughts that I definitely would not be able to sort out if I hadn't journaled. The obsession with trying to be the right one in confrontations, trying to always hold the moral high ground, trying to always make the perfect choices so you have the least regrets and the least people turn on you. So I look like the nicest, most mature, most intelligent, virtuous guy. I did not realize until this how obsessed I am with trying to be the right one, in my own head at least. I think this stems from parents taking away love when I make a mistake, or parents rushing to fix your mistakes. It could be telling my brain that making mistakes makes me a lesser human being, and it will take away love and attention from me. So perhaps habitually I just try to correct my mind into being the ultimate right person. I think this is why I was always confused about why bad men, that sounds like Batman, bad BAD men can still attract women, like assholes. It always puzzled me and made me so angry, because in my head it worked more like the better man attracts the woman, the more virtuous, the more altruistic, the more respectable man, the one who makes the least mistakes. And I've learned that love is an entirely different concept that cannot be boiled down to these barriers. I always thought that the closer I am to perfection, the more love I will receive. And this was a vicious lie that conducted my entire life. The obsession with being the right one. This gave me immense anxiety during confrontations, during presentations, making decisions, asking people for verification whether I made the right choice, habitually and constantly. These past few days, my anxiety can be easily suppressed by just telling myself, relax, you don't have to be afraid of being wrong. People are not going to stray away from you because of that. And surprisingly, it works wonders. Of course, it's still quite terrifying because of habitual thoughts. I still intrinsically think that not being the one of the moral high ground, I will lose friends, lose love from family, lose respect. But you see, of course, being wrong, like morally, being like a bad person is of course not desirable, but the obsession shouldn't be trying to be morally right all the time, because you abandon your ideals, you abandon your authenticity, and just operating life trying to be not wrong is no compass at all, even though it sounds desirable. I'm not saying being an inherently bad person is the right way to go. I'm saying that I'm afraid to act on my own ideals because it's scary that people can say that I'm not virtuous, scary that they can reject me, I'm not good, I'm not liked. The obsession with being right stops me from being the person I want to be, stops me from being authentic, stops me from being genuine, floods my life with anxiety. I fear sharing ideas because I don't want to be wrong. I fear disagreeing because I don't want to be wrong. I fear standing up for people because I don't want to be wrong. In moments of need, of immediate reaction, when somebody collapses in front of me, I just stand there. There was a fight in class and I just stood there, which is far from the person I want to be. And people collapsing in front of me happened twice, and I just stood there, stunned. The woman was too stunned to speak. I don't fucking move because I'm afraid of making the wrong choices. What if I'm the cause of the problem eventually? What if because I step in, something else happens and it becomes my fault and then I become rejected? I want to be able to sacrifice how people think of me and do what I desire. That is beautiful to me, and I can't do that. I keep succumbing to my fear in the moment, and it pisses me the hell off because I'm so afraid habitually to be wrong. This trauma trait has unfairly conducted my life, made me less authentic, filled me with so many regrets. I'm always too afraid to act fast. I always need to prepare. I have no reactive mindset. I don't dare to admit I hate people because, oh, you shouldn't hate people. It will take a toll on you, or you won't be the altruistic guy. Those hard to love needed most, which I definitely agree with, but it's not necessarily our responsibility to give them our time capacity, to forgive them and allow them to blossom from somewhere that they have absolutely destroyed your life and been an absolute asshole to you and destroyed your welfare. It's not our responsibility to pick these people up. Although, in technical terms, we can understand that, their asshole penis traits probably stem from somewhere that is not inherently good, and they probably suffered to be able to make those terrible decisions, but it is not our responsibility. And it is okay to hate them. At the end of the day, we can only judge people based on their actions. We are not God. I have perpetual regret. All those times I just stood there stunned when situations arose that I wanted to take action. An elderly family member fell in front of me and I did nothing. It's pathetic, man. A female classmate collapsed and I did nothing. My friend was getting picked on and I did nothing. I don't trust my decisions. I'm afraid to make mistakes. I'm too afraid my participation causes issues. I'm terrified at being the cause of the situation worsening. And in the moment, I always choose inaction. It's really, really pathetic. I despise that about myself. I hate it so much. My fear to take action, my inept will to act. I'm afraid of being rejected by the environment, by the people around me, to be frowned upon just because I took action and I messed it up. In the moment, the fear just blinds me. Being wrong, everybody will turn on me, lose love and affection, respect. If I make a mistake, it just scares me to the core, even though that sounds very shallow and superficial. But I'm happy to have identified it. I think this stems from my mother getting frustrated whenever I make a mistake or choose to make a decision on my own and it isn't the best decision. You can say that it's ungrateful to blame your own parents, but it is the truth, and identifying that has some significance to it. But of course, I love my parents wholeheartedly, and there's no kid out there who's just affected with zero trauma. It only matters how much. I think there's only one right thing in this world, and that is your re-evaluated ideals. Admit you hate that person. Do reckless things. We are men, and it's okay to be a bit playful and immature. Be vocal, be vulnerable. Put yourself in positions that could fuck you up, but you're gonna stand there because you want to be there. You'll still be loved unless your ideals are like monstrous. Unless you try to groom my sister. See, that's terrible. That's why I said re-evaluate them. What's more lovable than authenticity and passion? You have to trust your ideals. True, possibly you may lose some people at the beginning because your whole life you were acting as someone else. But authenticity is charismatic. You just have to make that shift, or else you'll be living in a jail cell for the rest of your life. I will do all I can to shift this habitual mindset and become the person I want to be. Two better